see a game between R. Pragnananda, who is a very young talent from India, and he is also a grandmaster, versus Liu Yan from China, who is also a grandmaster. He is also very young. This is a match between FIDE Online Olympiad, which is taking place. It is a very strong tournament. As we have Olympics for other sports, we have Olympiad for chess. So all these strong countries are participating in this event, and this is the very toughest match, that is India versus China. And this match is very crucial, as India wins against China and advances to quarterfinals. Thanks to this game, as this game gave us a clean victory over China by a score of 4-2. So let's begin. Pragnananda is white and he plays e4. His opponent Liu Yan plays e5. Knight f3, knight f6. So this is Petrov defense. If you take the pawn, black will also take the pawn. But there is a trap in this. Knight takes, then queen e2. And if knight moves, then there is a check. And the queen is lost in this. As both of them are grandmasters, they know this. And then Pragnananda plays d4. Knight into e4. So black chooses a very critical variation. Pawn takes pawn, d5. Now he supports his knight in the center, and this knight is pretty annoying now, as it is controlling the pretty crucial squares in the position. So it is better to exchange. So Pragnananda activates his passive knight and offers an exchange. His opponent accepts. Knight takes, bishop e7, developing move, bishop d3, again a developing move, bishop g4, pinning the knight. If the knight moves, the queen is under attack, hence the knight cannot move. h3, just attacking the bishop, bishop h5, castles, knight d7. Now you see the threat. Now black is threatening to take on e5. Knight into e5, knight into e5, and bishop into d1. The queen will be lost in this. Hence g4, immediately removing the pin. Bishop g6, offering exchange, but bishop f5 by Pragnananda. He wants to exchange the bishop, but in a better place. As you can see, if bishop takes, then pawn takes, and these pawns are too strong. The pawn will advance in the center, creating many threats. So black plays c6, refuses to exchange, holding the center. Now what black has done is, he has just built up a pawn chain. So bishop f4, Pragnananda activates his second bishop. Now he will take, pawn takes. Now queen b6. As you can see, I am showing this move again and again because he's activating his queen on the right square. That's why it is very important. Once again you can see queen to b6, queen e2. Same activation done by white. Now castling queen side. As you can see, the king side is pretty open, so black wants to go to queen side and he thinks that it is a safe place. So c4, Pragnananda immediately starts opening the queen side of black. Pawn takes pawn, queen takes pawn, some kind of exchange. Now queen b4. Here black offers queen exchange. Now when it is said that when you feel unsafe in positions, then just exchange of the queens, because it is a major attacker of your opponent as well as you. So you have to just exchange the queens to nullify the attack and simplify the position. So the position is simplified. Bishop g3, very strong move. He was eyeing for bishop h4, but black takes care of it by playing bishop e7. Now rook e1, bringing the rook to half open file. Knight c5. Now black wants to activate his knight by playing knight d3. Rook e2, just guarding the second rank. Rook d5, bringing the piece in center. Rook c1, just taking another open file. f6. Now there was no need to play this move as now bishop h4 is allowed and the bishop is pinned now. You can't capture the pawn because the bishop is hanging on e7. Hence bishop d8, rook c4. Now what a rook swing idea by Pragnananda. He wants to bring his rook from c4 to g4 and attack the g7 pawn. Pawn takes pawn, rook g4, attacking the pawn on the 7th rank. Bishop f6. Even black wants to exchange the bishop on better place. Knight g5, just improving the position of knight. h6, attacking the knight. Knight f7, attacking the rook and the e5 pawn. Rook f8. Now bishop takes, bishop, pawn takes, and now white wins a pawn with knight into h6. But the position looks quite comfortable for black as he's sitting very solid. The pawn structure is intact. And yes, black is in a comfortable position. Whereas you can see this pawn structure of white is totally wrecked. But white is Pragnananda. You cannot say what will happen in the game. Rook d7, rook g6. Now you can see that how black starts playing passively and white starts his activity. Knight d3, rook d2, pinning the knight immediately. Knight f4, exchange of rooks will take place. And now rook g7 check. Rook on 7th rank is always a dangerous piece. King goes behind, bringing the king out. King h2. Knight h5, attacking the rook. Rook h7. He wants to stay on that 7th rank and just create some threats. Knight f4 again. Black wants to repeat probably. He feels that it's a draw. But now h4, the pawn starts running in the open file. Rook d8, trying to activate the rook by bringing it into the open file, but rook f7, attacking the f pawn immediately. Knight h5, giving it a defense. Knight g4, one more attack. Rook d4, attacking the knight, but now simply the pawn is gone. So rook into h4 check, and now knight takes, rook takes. So guys, let me tell you, at this position the game is completely drawn, but this f pawn is a mystery always. If you are unable to stop this f pawn, then the game is gone. What black has to do is just hold this 7th rank and not allow the pawn advance. But black tries to attack the pawn from behind, which is very wrong. And look now how Pragnananda converts it. Rook f7. He himself grabs the opportunity on being on the 7th rank and cutting off the king from coming. So now king walk starts. King g3, king b8. Now black's king has to take a longer route as the rook on 7th rank has controlled its squares of coming out in the center. f6, the pawn runs. a4, no need to worry, black is just trying to divert his attention, but rook f8 check. King a7, rook e8. Rook into f6, rook into e5, trading of the pawn, but still one pawn is left on the other wing. Two pawns can hold these three pawns and this pawn will start running now. That's what Pragnananda's idea is. King b6, f4, rook d6, rook e2, guarding the 2nd rank. Rook d1, f5, simply gives a check. King f4, again a check. King g5. Now if black gives rook g1 check, then simply king will go to f6 and hide behind this pawn. So king c5, f6, king d4, king g6, king d3, rook g2. There was an attack on the rook, so rook comes to g2, and also some nonsense checks from g1 are also prevented. b5, trying to divert again, but f7, the pawn simply runs. b4, rook g5. Now this is a very important move as you cannot allow the third pawn to join the party as well. Rook takes f7, final try. King takes f7, sacrificing the rook and advancing the pawns. But rook g2 check, very superb move, and this holds the position. King b1, a3, pawn takes, pawn takes. Now you can see rook has cut off the king. The king cannot attack this pawn. The only hope is that this pawn, but king will catch it. King c4, c2, rook g1 check, queens take and king b4. After this, black resigned because as you can see the king cannot help now. King cannot help the pawn. The pawn is gone now. If king c2, king into f4, king c3, and very important move, king b5. This pawn cannot be stopped now. Let's see, king d4, a4, king d5, a5, and king d6. If you play king d6, not a6, you should never play a6. King b6, take the opposition. Block this route for black. Here, then king b7, again block this route. And now the pawn will simply queen and white will checkmate black. So, Pragnananda won this game, gave India a crucial point, and India defeated China by 4-2 with this game. Thanks for watching and hit like button for India.